In the quiet, rolling hills of Bedford County, Virginia, a legend has persisted for over a century. It's a tale of hidden riches, cryptic codes, and treasure hunters who have become obsessed with deciphering the mysterious Beale ciphers. These ciphers, a series of encoded messages that allegedly hold the secret to a buried treasure worth millions, have become one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in the world of treasure hunting. The story behind the Beale ciphers begins in the early 19th century with a man named Thomas Beale, a gold prospector who struck it rich in the Rocky Mountains. According to Beale's own account, he and a group of men discovered a vast fortune, gold, silver, and precious jewels, while traveling through the mountains. This discovery, said to be one of the largest and most valuable in American history, would set the stage for an extraordinary mystery that would span generations. Rather than simply burying his newfound wealth and hoping for the best, Beale, a man of some intellect, devised a plan to keep the treasure hidden from the eyes of potential thieves. He took a far more elaborate approach than most. Beale allegedly created 3 separate ciphers, each encoding a different piece of vital information about the treasure's location, its contents, and the heirs who were meant to claim it. These ciphers, which were said to be encoded in a highly complex system, would serve as the key to unlocking the mystery and finding the treasure. The first cipher, according to the legend, describes the precise location where the treasure is buried. It's said to contain detailed instructions, including landmarks and clues that would guide any worthy adventurer to the riches that lie beneath the earth. The second cipher, which was partially decoded in the late 19th century, allegedly provides a description of the treasure itself, the contents of the chest, including gold, silver, and rare jewels, items of immense value that would be worth millions today. The third cipher, which remains unsolved, is said to contain the names of the people who were meant to inherit the treasure, offering a personal connection to the mysterious prospector and his hidden fortune. Beale, before disappearing from history, reportedly entrusted these ciphers to a trusted friend. His friend, a man by the name of James B. Ward, was tasked with keeping the ciphers safe and attempting to solve them. The ciphers were hidden away for years, largely forgotten by the public until the 1880s, when Ward's discovery of the ciphers would bring the mystery to light once again. In 1885, Ward published a pamphlet titled The Beale Papers, which contained the full text of the ciphers, as well as a partial solution to one of them. This pamphlet was a revelation for many, sparking a renewed interest in the Beale treasure and sending treasure hunters flocking to the hills of Bedford County in search of the hidden fortune. While the second cipher was successfully decoded, revealing the treasure's contents, the first and third ciphers remain an enigma. Despite numerous attempts to crack the remaining codes, the location of the treasure and the identities of the heirs remain a mystery, leading many to question whether the treasure even exists or if it is simply an elaborate hoax. The second cipher, which describes the treasure, has provided a tantalizing glimpse into the riches that are said to be buried in the ground. According to the decoded message, the treasure is said to contain large quantities of gold and silver, as well as rare jewels of immense value. One of the most intriguing aspects of the treasure is its historical significance. It is believed that Beale and his companions buried the treasure in the early 1800s, making it one of the oldest and most valuable caches of hidden wealth in American history. The wealth described in the cipher is enough to make any treasure hunter's heart race. Yet, despite the excitement surrounding the Beale ciphers, the treasure has remained elusive. In the decades following the publication of the Beale Papers, treasure hunters flocked to Bedford County, convinced that they could be the ones to crack the code and uncover the fortune hidden beneath the earth. Some believed the treasure was buried near a particular hill, others believed it could be hidden beneath an ancient oak tree, and still, others believed it lay in a series of caves that had long been abandoned. But despite all their efforts, none have been able to find the treasure or decipher the remaining ciphers. Over the years, many have attempted to decode the Beale ciphers, using every technique imaginable, from linguistic analysis to cryptographic methods. Some believed the ciphers were simple substitution codes, where each letter was replaced by another. Others suggested that the ciphers were based on a more complex system, such as a book cipher, in which words or phrases from a particular text were used to create the encoded message. Cryptographers and historians have worked tirelessly to crack the code, but despite their best efforts, the remaining ciphers have refused to yield their secrets. And as the years have passed, the hunt for the Beale treasure has become a legend in its own right, inspiring countless others to join the search and try their luck at cracking the code. But what makes the Beale ciphers so fascinating is not just the promise of untold riches, but the mystery that surrounds them. Why would Beale go to such great lengths to hide his treasure? Was he trying to protect it from thieves? Or was there a deeper reason behind his decision to encode the location of the treasure? Was the treasure intended for someone specific, or was it meant to be discovered by anyone who could solve the ciphers? The unanswered questions surrounding the Beale ciphers have only added to their allure, making them one of the most captivating and mysterious treasure hunts in history. For treasure hunters and cryptographers alike, the Beale ciphers represent more than just the search for wealth. They represent the pursuit of a mystery that has persisted for more than a century. It's a quest that continues to capture the imagination of people around the world, and the thrill of the hunt shows no signs of fading. The Beale treasure, hidden for so long, remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of our time. Will it ever be found? Or is the treasure simply a myth, an elaborate riddle designed to lure people into a lifelong pursuit of the impossible? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain: the Beale ciphers will continue to captivate adventurers and treasure hunters for generations to come. As the years passed, the search for the Beale treasure continued to evolve, drawing in individuals from all corners of the world. The Beale ciphers, though initially published in 1885, continued to stir up intense curiosity and speculation. People from all walks of life, treasure hunters, cryptographers, historians, and even armchair detectives, joined the growing number of individuals obsessed with unlocking the mystery. While the second cipher, describing the treasure's contents, had been decoded, the remaining ciphers, most notably the first and third, remained a puzzle that no one seemed able to solve. The treasure hunt quickly became more than just a pursuit of gold. It became a test of intellectual perseverance and a battle of wits against an elusive, anonymous mastermind. The first cipher, which allegedly detailed the exact location of the treasure, remained one of the greatest enigmas in the history of cryptography. Some believed the cipher could be cracked through simple analysis, using common cryptographic techniques such as frequency analysis. Others, however, suggested that the cipher's structure was far more complex, perhaps a cipher system that had yet to be uncovered. Many treasure hunters have come and gone, each leaving behind their theories and attempts to crack the code, but none have succeeded. The lack of success only fueled the intrigue surrounding the Beale ciphers, and it seemed that the deeper one delved into the mystery, the more questions arose. What made the Beale ciphers so complex? Why, after more than 130 years, had no one been able to decode the final pieces of the puzzle? And most importantly, did the treasure even exist, or was it simply an elaborate hoax designed to mislead treasure seekers? Despite these doubts, the mystery of the Beale treasure continued to captivate the imagination of anyone who dared to take on the challenge. Over the decades, some treasure hunters dedicated their lives to the search. One such individual was a man named J. Pritchard, who, in the 1970s, began his own search for the hidden fortune. He was particularly focused on deciphering the first cipher, convinced that it would reveal the exact location of the treasure. Pritchard's research led him to several possible locations in the Bedford County area, including a hill near a river and a cave system that had long been abandoned. Despite his efforts, Pritchard was unable to find the treasure or crack the code. Like so many before him, he was left with nothing but the tantalizing promise of riches and a seemingly unsolvable mystery. In the 1990s, a new generation of cryptographers and treasure hunters took up the mantle, using modern technology to attempt what their predecessors could not. Computer algorithms and sophisticated pattern recognition software became key tools in the search for the Beale treasure. These technological advancements allowed for new ways of analyzing the ciphers, searching for patterns that the human eye might have missed. Some believed that the ciphers were not just simple codes but rather part of a more elaborate puzzle, perhaps a combination of several cipher techniques that had yet to be understood. Others speculated that Beale had embedded clues within the ciphers themselves, using the language of the codes to point to the location of the treasure. As the search for the treasure continued, the location of the Beale treasure became the subject of increasing debate. While some treasure hunters focused their efforts on Bedford County, others believed that the treasure was buried elsewhere. One of the most compelling theories, proposed by an amateur cryptographer named William L. Brown, suggested that the treasure might be hidden in a series of caves along the Blue Ridge Mountains. According to Brown, the Beale ciphers contained clues that, when decoded, pointed directly to the caves in the area. The idea was further supported by the fact that Beale had spent time in the region in the early 1800s, and the caves were known to have been used as hideouts by outlaws and treasure hunters during that time. While Brown's theory gained traction among some treasure seekers, others dismissed it as mere speculation. The fact that no one had yet found the treasure only added to the mystique and frustration surrounding the Beale ciphers. In the decades following the publication of the Beale Papers, treasure hunters weren't the only ones captivated by the mystery. Cryptographers, both amateur and professional, began to study the ciphers in greater detail, analyzing the structure of the codes and searching for hidden patterns. One of the most prominent cryptographers to tackle the Beale ciphers was a man named David Khah, author of the definitive work The Codebreakers. Khah, a noted expert on cryptography, examined the Beale ciphers extensively, even going so far as to apply some of the most advanced cryptographic techniques of the time. In his analysis, Khah pointed out several unusual features in the ciphers, suggesting that they might not be based on any known cipher system. This revelation only added to the mystery, as it seemed to imply that Beale had created an entirely new cipher system, one that no one had yet been able to decode. Despite Khah's expertise, however, the treasure remained elusive. As time passed, the search for the Beale treasure took on a life of its own, evolving into a kind of cultural phenomenon. The Beale ciphers became a symbol of the treasure hunter's pursuit of the impossible, a tantalizing riddle that lured people into a seemingly endless chase. Books, documentaries, and even websites dedicated to the Beale ciphers began to spring up, offering new theories and interpretations of the clues. Some believed that the ciphers had been created as a deliberate hoax, designed to lead treasure hunters on a wild goose chase. Others clung to the hope that the treasure was real, waiting to be uncovered by the one person who could finally crack the code. Yet, despite the passage of time and the numerous attempts to solve the mystery, the Beale ciphers have remained unsolved. As the years continue to roll by, the treasure hunt for the Beale treasure grows ever more intense. New generations of adventurers continue to join the search, their eyes fixed on the cryptic codes that have baffled so many before them. The question still remains: will the treasure ever be found? Or will the Beale ciphers remain an unsolved puzzle, lost to time and buried beneath the soil of Bedford County, Virginia, forever? As the Beale treasure hunt enters its second century, the mystery continues to capture the imagination of treasure seekers worldwide. The once straightforward search for gold and silver has transformed into something far more complex, a deep, philosophical journey into human nature, desire, and perseverance. For many, it is no longer just about the treasure, it is about solving the puzzle, proving that they are the ones who can crack the Beale ciphers and claim the treasure's location. But as new theories emerge and more treasure hunters dive into the cryptic codes, the question remains: why has no one successfully deciphered the final ciphers? In recent years, the Beale treasure has taken on a life of its own in popular culture. Books, documentaries, and online forums have kept the story alive, and the treasure hunt has even inspired movies and television shows. The mystery of the Beale ciphers has become more than just a search for gold, it has become an obsession. In fact, the search itself has grown to be as much of a treasure as the actual chest of riches, as people from all over the world are drawn into the cryptic puzzle. But is there more to the Beale ciphers than just a treasure hunt? Some believe that the Beale Ciphers are a reflection of the age-old human desire for adventure and discovery. The quest for treasure is as old as humanity itself, and the idea of hidden riches has captured the imaginations of people for centuries. Whether in myth, legend, or reality, the allure of treasure has driven countless individuals to take risks, to embark on dangerous journeys, and to devote their lives to finding what was lost. The Beale Ciphers seem to tap into this deep, primal instinct, creating a mystery that is just elusive enough to keep people coming back. For some, however, the Beale treasure is much more than just a fun puzzle. There are those who believe that the treasure is real and still hidden in the hills of Bedford County. The belief that gold and silver worth millions of dollars are buried beneath the earth has given rise to numerous search parties over the years. Some claim to have come close, finding clues that others overlooked, while others believe that they have uncovered locations that could be the key to solving the final cipher. The fact that the treasure has never been found only fuels the sense of mystery and intrigue, keeping the dream of discovering the riches alive. In recent years, one of the most intriguing theories to emerge regarding the Beale Ciphers is the idea that they might be a kind of philosophical treasure. Proponents of this theory argue that the real treasure is not gold or silver, but knowledge, perhaps an esoteric message about life, death, or the nature of existence. Some cryptographers believe that the ciphers are a coded message that goes beyond the search for physical wealth. The Beale Ciphers could be a kind of intellectual treasure, an invitation to explore deeper questions about human nature, society, and the world around us. This philosophical interpretation of the Beale treasure has found support among some cryptographers, particularly those who argue that the cipher system is too intricate to be a simple code for hidden gold. The fact that the ciphers have baffled so many for so long suggests that they could be a form of cryptic art, a puzzle created not to be solved easily, but to challenge the intellect and spirit of those who attempt to decode it. If this is true, then the treasure might not lie in a chest of gold at all. Instead, it might be hidden in plain sight, wrapped up in the intellectual challenge of the puzzle itself. Other theories about the Beale treasure have been even more elaborate, with some suggesting that the treasure might be a kind of social commentary. Some believe that the treasure is a symbol of the greed, materialism, and obsession with wealth that has plagued humanity throughout history. According to this theory, the Beale Ciphers are a kind of morality tale, warning against the dangers of chasing after material gain at the cost of everything else. The treasure hunt, then, becomes a metaphor for the way in which people often devote their lives to seeking wealth and status, only to find that the true value of life lies in something far deeper and more meaningful. Despite these philosophical and moral theories, the core of the Beale treasure mystery remains the same. A chest of gold, silver, and jewels is hidden somewhere in Bedford County, Virginia, and the only thing standing between the treasure and those who seek it is the cryptic, unsolved Beale Ciphers. The treasure is out there, waiting to be found, but only by those who can crack the code. In recent times, the Beale Ciphers have also attracted attention from modern-day treasure hunters who have taken a more scientific approach to solving the puzzle. Geologists, historians, and even mathematicians have joined the hunt, looking for patterns and clues in the environment and the surrounding landscape. Some treasure seekers have even turned to satellite imagery and drone technology in hopes of uncovering something that previous treasure hunters may have missed. One of the more popular theories that has emerged in recent years is that the Beale Ciphers are not just about the treasure itself, but about the landscape and geography of the area. The idea is that the ciphers contain hidden references to landmarks, geological features, or geographical coordinates that could help pinpoint the exact location of the treasure. Some even suggest that the treasure might not be buried at all, but rather concealed within an old structure or hidden beneath a natural feature such as a rock formation or cave. As new methods and technologies continue to emerge, the hunt for the Beale treasure shows no signs of slowing down. In fact, the mystery of the Beale ciphers has become even more tantalizing in the modern age. The treasure is still out there, hidden somewhere in the hills of Virginia, and as long as the mystery remains unsolved, the hunt will continue. The Beale ciphers may never be fully decoded, but that only serves to make the search for the treasure all the more enticing. And so, the legacy of the Beale treasure lives on, drawing in new generations of treasure hunters and cryptographers, each determined to be the one who finally cracks the code and claims the riches that lie hidden in the mountains of Virginia.